Hey everyone, it's Shepard, and this should be the first of a bunch of build videos I'll be releasing now that we've had a chance to sink our teeth into Iceborne. As usual, I'll be trying to keep major spoilers to a minimum, so any videos featuring unrevealed monsters or equipment will probably not come out until quite a bit later. If you have any questions about those guys, please make sure to check out my Twitch channel or Discord community. Thanks. Okay, so on to the set. Prior to Monster Hunter World, we saw a ton of crit draw builds on Greatswords. They were fast, fun, and hit like a truck. Oddly enough, the damage never really changed much on the initial draw slash. What was different though, was the addition of the true charge slash to the game. This attack hit like an absolute truck. And so while you could still do a crit draw playstyle, it just seemed super weak compared to constantly lining up the true charge slash. Well, I did a ton of testing, and I can now say there's a setup that gives the draw slash playstyle a return to its former glory. First of all, it's worth pointing out that the damage values on a lot of attacks got changed. Going into Iceborne, the level 2 charge slash now does 77% of your raw power, up from 70%. Likewise, the level 3 charge slash now does 110% of your raw damage, up from 105%. To me, this makes me think the developers really wanted to see players use this draw slash a lot more. On top of this, we now have elemental multipliers as well. The level 2 charge boosts our element by 130%, and level 3 charge boosts our element by 150%. Up until now, elemental greatswords were generally considered meme tier in nearly every Monster Hunter game, outside of maybe Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate. And even then, they were more or less just viable, and never really hit the meta. Before we get into why the Velkhana set bonus makes this set so good, I do want to share some additional changes to damage numbers. If you're planning on building a non-crit draw set, the changes to the strong charge and the true charge slash may help you change your playstyle. First, the strong charge slash is up from 65% motion value up to 82%, with an elemental modifier of 140%. Strong level 2 is up from 90% to around 111%, with an elemental modifier of 157%. Strong level 3 is up from 115% to 131%, with an insane multiplier of 177% for elemental. Strong charges in the past were widely ignored by players, and instead, we saw most people just going into a tackle to skip this attack. I really feel like this will change with all these incredible buffs to every level of this move. Okay, onto the true charge slash. This attack has two flavors now, the normal and improved true charge slash. With the first hit, or hit a non-weakened spot, you'll get the normal version. I'm going to ignore the first hit here, by the way. The damage here actually got nerfed in some instances. A level 1 true charge slash only gives you 120% motion value, down from 165, with an elemental modifier at 145%. Level 2 got a slight nerf, down to 175% from 182%. Only the level 3 true charge slash remains the same at 211%. What this means is that unless you really believe you're going to land the level 3 true charge slash, you may be better off focusing on the other parts of your charge combo. Assuming you do land the first hit on a weak spot, the improved true charge slash does the following. Improved level 1 actually does less damage than the previous true charge slash, only doing 144% raw, the 143% elemental modifier. Improved true level 2 has a massive boost, doing 211% raw, the 155% L modifier, matching what the damage was on the previous true charge slash. Finally, improved true charge slash level 3 is 264% of raw with an insane 188% elemental modifier. What do all these nerfs and changes to true charge slash mean? First, if you're going to go for it, not only will you want to be in a position where your first hit will connect with a weak spot, but you also probably want to charge to at least level 2. Doing this will mean you're technically doing more damage at a faster rate than the previous Greatsword style of play. Anything less, and you're actually doing less damage. While 1 or 2 points of focus felt okay to most Greatsword users before, I feel like the meta playstyle will probably see players using level 3 focus a lot of the time, as the benefits to charging to level 2 across all charges mean a lot more now. Okay, so this has been a lot of talking, and I've barely talked about what I'm doing, and how we're skipping almost all those other attacks anyways. We already went over the damage changes to the Charge Slash, and mentioned how good they were for a draw playstyle. Adding on 4 pieces of Velkhana armor gives us 2 skills: Critical Element and Frostcraft. These 2 skills have an incredible synergy, and let me explain why. First, Critical Element triggers on every critical hit. Haven't tested it across every weapon class yet, but for Greatsword, it boosts your elemental damage by a staggering 160% on a crit. This is on top of course, any elemental boost your attack is already doing. Let it be known, here and now, that any monster that takes any significant amount of elemental damage will have you wanting to build an elemental weapon. Frostcraft boosts things even more. See that little weird sword thing up in the corner? It's a gauge that fills slowly while we have our weapon out when we're not attacking, or very quickly while we're sheathed. There are 3 levels. At no gauge, of course, there's no boost. At level 1, we get a 5% boost to our raw, and a 10% boost to our element. At level 2, we get a 15% boost to our raw, and a 20% boost to element. Finally, at level 3, we get a full 30% boost to our raw, and 35% boost to our element. All of these boosts, of course, are multiplicative on top of the other boosts we're getting from Greatsword. Suffice it to say, this is a lot of math to come out with the obvious conclusion. Crit Draw Greatsword is awesome. You can see that in testing, a fully charged Crit Draw Slash deals almost as much damage as a true Charge Slash minus Frostcraft and crit damage. The essence of the build is simple. It revolves around the 4-piece Velkhana set, using the arms as a flexible piece of gear. Our primary focus is to boost our element as much as possible, ideally getting it to level 6. If your weapon can get purple sharpness, consider using the Damascus arms to get handicraft to get there. Otherwise, take a look at the Keston arms. Make sure crit draw is at least level 3, try to get crit boost to level 3, and try to get focus as high as you can, ideally level 3. Getting the 3rd point of Quick Sheath is nice, but not necessary. Well, that's it for this build. If you'd like to help support more videos like this, please consider subscribing on my Twitch channel or Patreon, located in the description below. Until next time, this is Shepard, saying good luck, and have a good hunt.